going to do it. For the second time in 100 years of football at the University of Florida, the Gators celebrate as national champions.
Last year's game against Florida, when Troy Smith was on the banquet circuit and must have put on 20 pounds between the two games, they came out flat, they came out slow, the game got away from them, and all of a sudden Florida looked like world beaters, and the SEC is, king of the castle, which I do believe it is.
Well, you got Ohio State. They can run the ball, Beanie Wells. They've got pretty good linebackers who can run.
On November 1st, the definite leaders for the national championship picture will be LSU, and then whoever wins on, I think it's November 10th, between USC and Cal.
42. This off the opening kickoff. Fake handoff at the 50 is Beckman. Going long down the right side for Rubisky at the 5. At the goal line, touchdown.
Number 1, LSU. Number 2, USC. Number 3, Cal. Number 4, Ohio State goes to Purdue to take on number 23, Purdue.
If Purdue somehow wins that game, and there's no way they're winning the game,
The Big Ten, we have Wisconsin and Ohio State. I think one of those teams has a decent chance of finishing undefeated.
And still on top of the poll. Ohio State, now undefeated in 10
Are
games.
they better than the group that won a national championship?
No question defensively. I think they're as good as they were in 2002.
I think that Ohio State and Wisconsin, will take a tumble.
And then he's matching up against a cornerback in Malcolm Jenkins, who's 6'1", 200 pounds, and runs a 4.4 40, and I think is the best pure cover corner in all of college football.
They're number one. They stay number one. It was a good win for them. They have one more tune-up before their big show, next week against Illinois.
Actual truth, and that is that Ohio State didn't come to play.
I don't say this about college teams, and I'm going to say it, and people get angry at me what they want. That's a choking performance. What are they doing?
Seems as if not everybody is thrilled with Ohio State.
Hawaii should be in there. They're the only undefeated team out there in the mix.
So when we see beating with them huge holes and them making great cuts, it's great, and we just feed off it as a whole team.
Beckman hands it to Chris Wells, moving left side. Wells 40, 45. Wells to the 50 with one defender to beat. Middle of field to the 40, to the 30. Chris Wells, middle of field 20, 10-5, touchdown. Chris Wells, just like last year in Columbus.
One loss, Ohio State. I told you it was windy. We'll take on 2 losses.
I know you're flying around, baby.
In New Orleans in the title game.
Ohio State backed into the national championship game.
Two teams. How you did it is you had a team that sat around and did nothing in Ohio State.
Right.
They were idle, and they're playing in a championship game.
If it were up to me, I think I would take LSU against Oklahoma most likely.
Tony, this is a joke.
Who would you put in? Because I think LSU, man for man, has more talent.
Big Ten doesn't have speed.
Sure, it's only the Southeastern Conference, which is the best conference.
Behind us, Ohio State does not belong. You know why? 48th strength of schedule. They've played one big-time team, Illinois, and what happened, Paige? They lost the game at home.
Computers and strength of schedule. Well, guess what? The Big Ten is 6 in the Jeff Sagarin ratings. The WAC is 8, so it's not that big.
Ohio State was sitting by, watching everybody else play, that the conclusion had been drawn that they were overrated.
The SEC's fast, it's dominant. The Big Ten's slow, hasn't come into the new millennium.
The conference wasn't any good. That big Michigan, big deal. Should have beaten Illinois. We wouldn't have this problem. Should have been what we talked about before the season started, USC versus LSU.
I did pick LSU to win the national title, and I think they will win.
At the end, I like LSU, but I think it's going to be another one of those classic games.
And in the end, it is LSU and Ohio State that are going to play for the championship.
Well, yeah.